Good morning, everyone. Today, I would like to discuss and present something on the innovations and how we convert our innovations into the project, research project, and how we extract our research topics, research materials out of the innovative projects. Now, I would like to display my presentation. Now, the topic is a journey. Here I have mentioned the topic journey because the idea generation, innovation, conversion of innovation into the project, this is a journey. After a particular time, we need to revive it, we need to review it, and we have to upgrade it. Otherwise, our technology, our idea, our innovation will die. So today we focus on innovations, how we do the innovations, and how we develop the innovative products, and how we convert our innovation into the research project. Then I will let you know how we get the research topics, research materials from the research project itself. Now you see, innovation, this is the creation or the creativity which is the ability to generate a novel and useful ideas is the need of the innovations. And in another word, we can say creativity is a seed, it acts as a seed of the innovation. But unless it is applied and scaled, it's just an idea. If you will not apply your innovation in effective way, then it is just an idea, nothing else. So you will find generally 4 pillars, that is creativity, innovation management, entrepreneurship, and the future studies or the foresight. These are 4 pillars you will find in research methods. When we talk about the innovation is the combination of problem and solution. Now the question is, from where you will get the problem? Generally, we get the problem from commercial society, the commercial world, or our society. Then we put the solution to resolve that particular problem. So the combination of this problem and solution is innovation. Suppose I will just detect one problem. If the ambulance is stuck in traffic, how we will give the medical aid to the patient which is under transition. So this is a problem. Now, suppose I will innovate something through the internet, through some sensors, through the cloud computing. If I innovate a particular solution and solve that particular problem, so that problem and solution combination is the innovation. Generally, the problem is come from the commercial world or the society, as I have already told you, and the innovations, the solution come from the technical world. An idea or the project is not an innovation unless it is applied by introducing new improved goods or services, by implementing new improved operation process, by implementing new improved organizational or managerial process. These are various innovation processes. Now, if you divide the innovation, it is divided into 4 types. Number 1 is technological innovation. Number 2 is product innovation. Number 3 is process innovation. And number 4 is management innovations. So first we focus on the technological innovations. These are associated with the use of technological knowledge, research, and development activities. Please try to remember, these are the use of technological knowledge, research, and development activities. Any innovation due to an industrial application of scientific knowledge is this technological innovation. In the same way, the product innovation involves the introduction of new goods and services which are significantly improved in terms of design excellence, core characteristics, technical specifications, etc. This is called the product innovations. Now you can easily differentiate between the technological innovation and product innovations. Another type of innovation is process innovation. This is the introduction of new, significantly improved production process involving new ways of producing the goods and services, maximizing the speed, services, quality, simplicity, waste reductions. These are different parameters. And the fourth one is the management innovation. It is essentially means the implementation of new management practices, innovative ways of doing the things, and dramatically transforming the improving and effectiveness of management functions. And you might have seen a lot of management innovations during COVID-19. They have implemented, government and management implemented so many, tested so many processes, so many innovations, and tried to control the particular disease, particular pandemic. Now, I have already told you this is a journey. Why I have given a name, a journey? Whenever you do the innovation, it die one day. And the new innovation, new replacement will take the place. Suppose I'll give the example of Kodak. Today we are not using the Kodak films because the latest new technology, digital camera associated in mobile phone took the place, and the Kodak film is dead now, and the digital camera took the place. So whenever you will find a new innovative product, it will die one day due to technological disruption. And the new technology, new idea, new innovation will take the place and continue the curve upward. So this is a journey. Whenever you innovate something, don't leave that particular innovation. you have to polish that innovation time to time. Otherwise, when it will die, another person can develop something new and your product will finish. Now, generally, we confused between the invention and innovation. Now here, I would like to differentiate between the invention and innovation. For example, X-ray. X-ray is an invention. But by using the X-ray, if a person develops a medical device, that is an innovation. And you will find a machine in airport which just used to scan the luggages. That is a kind of innovation, but they are using X-ray. Similarly, microwave, it is an invention, but we are using the microwave for cooking purpose. That is an innovation. Similarly, light sensitivity, silver compounds, these are inventions. But we are using these light sensitivity and silver compound in photography. That is an innovation. Semiconductor is an invention. But we are using the semiconductors in magnetic tape, magnetic cassettes, diskettes, hard disks. Those are the innovations. Similarly, storage data on magnetic surface. Now the question is, whenever you generate a particular idea, how you will polish that particular idea and convert the idea into the innovation, and innovation to research, research to research projects, etc. Here we are using two terms. Number one is divergent thinking and convergent thinking. Whenever we detect a problem, we will find multiple solutions. So many solutions we find. Out of those solutions, we need to extract the proper solution which is feasible in terms of economic, in terms of social. That is the divergent thinking. It will be more clear when we see this diagram. We get so many solutions for a single problem. And solutions come from different brains. Solutions come from different patents. Solutions come from different innovations, already existing innovations. And we put all those things in a funnel and squeeze those solutions to get the proper solution which is feasible in terms of economically and socially, and moreover operational. Then we develop the prototype. After the development of prototype, we try to test it and see whether it is commercially viable or not. Then we go for the commercializations. Then we send the product to market. So this is the process of open innovations. Whenever we innovate something, whenever we get the problem, we try to find out the solutions. And we get multiple solutions. Suppose I got a problem, suppose in pandemic, tourism sector is suffering a lot. And simultaneously, the villages and the village peoples are also suffering, because the peoples, those who were staying outside the village, they again return back to the village, and the population of village has been increased, and the livelihood is very difficult, and they are not getting proper food and proper nutritious food, and their income level has been decreased. So how we solve this kind of problem, so that we can take the tourism as one entity and village in another entity, and how we resolve this type of problem, we will get so many ideas. We bring the people and empower them and try to enhance their livelihood. That is one of the way. But how we insert the tourism? When you float this kind of problem to many people, many students, they will give so many ideas, so many solutions. Out of those solutions, those bunch of solutions, we need to find out the proper solution which is economically viable, which is socially viable, and which is operationally viable. Such kind of solutions we extract, and then we try to implement those solutions. I'll give some examples also. Now, here, before showing the real innovations, I would like to discuss the Gartner's hype cycle. Whenever we find the problem and trying to find out the solution, we are using the latest technology. We are using the latest techniques to resolve that particular problem. If I will solve a particular problem by using the old technology, it may not be effective. So how I will choose a perfect technology? How I will choose a particular system through which I will implement my solution, as well as I will find so many research scopes so that we can convert it into the unique research, and we can file the patents. We can, the scholars, they can continue their PhDs. That we have to think. Now, if you see the Gartner's hype cycle, whenever a new technology comes, it goes to peak. After reaching a particular peak, it will again come down. You have already seen the condition of Samsung, condition of Nokia, sorry. Once the Nokia mobile was very famous, and it is used by many people, and Nokia is the only company which brought the mobile revolution. But after reaching a particular peak, the Samsung and Apple and other companies, they took the places, and Nokia came down. Again, the Nokia is trying to put some new innovations and trying to sustain in the market. So in Gartner's hype cycle, we will know which technology is reaching at which point, and what kind of actions we can perform in our research. I'll give some examples. Now, you can see, now see this particular Gartner Hype Cycle. This is for 3D printing, but I'll show you something else. Okay. Now the Gartner Hype Cycle of emerging technologies. Now see the triangle. This triangle is indicating more than 10 years. That means the technology will survive more than 10 years. Similarly, this blue color circle, it shows the technology will survive from 5 to 10 years. Similarly, this is light blue circle, so the technology will survive for 2 to 5 years, and the white circle is less than 2 years. This is the Gartner cycle of 2008. So you will get the latest Gartner life cycle also, hype cycle. Now here you can see if a particular technology will survive more than 10 years and you are using this particular technology in your innovative solutions, then it will be more effective, and you will get more time to do work on this particular technology. Suppose here you can see the status of cloud computing. In 2008, the status of cloud computing was less than 2 years. Now the status of cloud computing must be reached over here. So what is happening over here? Here the peoples are working on cloud computing, but they work more on the sustainability of cloud computing concepts and the sustainability and improvement of security issues. So in this particular portion, we can also work, but we can work on the sustainability of that particular technology. But here we can apply the technology in our innovations directly, and we get more time to improve our innovations with the new technology. So this is the hype cycle through which we just come to know which technology can be used effectively in our innovations, so that we will get the research opportunities also. And Gartner hype cycle you will get in all the subjects. This is the life cycle of digital marketing. This is the hype cycle of big data applications. Now we talk about the innovative products, what we have developed from last 6 to 7 years in our lab here in campus only. Our first innovation, my first innovation you can say, is the portable intensive care unit. Once a particular problem came to our mind, if a person is traveling in ambulance, how he or she will get the medical assistance during the transition, or even the ambulance gets stuck in traffic, how the patient will get the medical assistance and immediate life-saving drugs, how a patient will get. So this is just a rough idea came to our mind, and we were trying to resolve this particular idea by using the GPS, by using the cloud computing, by using the IoT, by using the Android. These are the technologies we were used over here. By using this technology, we were developed a device, and this is a device. This is developed in our lab only. So in this particular device, you will find a drug delivery method. You will find number of syringes attached in a drug delivery system. So this drug delivery system is entirely developed in our lab by doing the research on various kinds of motors and various kinds of circuits, various kinds of technologies. After that, we have attached one vital sign transmission system, and we have used so many sensors to get the vital signs like blood pressure, like the oxygen level, pulse rate, heart rate, even EEG signals. We get the detail from the patient's body and transmit to this particular system, and this particular system will transmit those vital informations to cloud. And from the cloud, doctor can retrieve that particular vital signs in his smartphone. Moreover, we have attached one high definition camera over here, through which doctor can see the patient, and microphone is also there. Doctor can talk with the attendant. Doctor can see the magnificent part of patient. Suppose doctor want to see the eye, he can see the eye. Doctor want to see the nose, he can see the nose. Doctor want to see the throat, he can see the throat also. So doctor can see the patient, doctor can talk with the patient or with the attendant, and doctor can see the vital signs also. Now here the doctor will get all the informations. Doctor can see the patient, doctor can see the vital signs, doctor can see the significant part of the body. Then doctor can decide what medicine I should give to the patient. Accordingly, doctor will release the medicines, life-saving medicines, which are already filled in these syringes. Even doctor can combine 2 to 3 medicines simultaneously. Suppose this is medicine number 1, medicine number 2, medicine number 3. Doctor want to give medicine number 1, 20 ml for 2 minutes. Medicine number 2, 10 ml, 3 minutes. Medicine number 3, 15 ml, 3 minutes. He can put the timer and just press a go button from his mobile, and the drug will get delivered to patient's body. And simultaneously, while the drug is delivering, at that time doctor can see the vital sign also, whether the patient is improving or not. Apart from that, by using the GPS, doctor can see the location of the ambulance, and he can also see how much of time it will take to reach to hospital. So here the doctor can take the decision if the time is 1 hour or 2 hours or half an hour. Accordingly, again, he can release the emergency injection if required. So the patient who is under transition is getting the virtual doctor's guidance and medical assistance from the remote location. This is our aim, and we have fulfilled this. And the cost of this machine is very less, and entire system is indigenous, and it is available in India. Repairing is very easy, and it works on internet. So this is one of the solutions for solving that particular problem. So here we are using the technology I have already told you, we are using the Android technology, we are using the cloud computing, we are using IoT, and we are using various sensors. Now, you can see this particular device. This is a digital engine tuning device. Actually, this is one of our consultancy project. And this particular machine, previously it was, the weight of this particular machine was around 35 kg. This machine is used in buses or trucks, where we just get the ring status of piston status of the engine, bus engine or truck engine or any heavy vehicle engines. So generally you will find 6 pistons over there, and the diesel input we enter from these chambers, and the diesel content will get measured with this pressure sensor, and the weight of diesel will store in microcontroller and transmit to the mobile through the Bluetooth. So we attach these chambers with the piston chambers, then we start the vehicle for 1 minute or for 1.5 minutes, then we stop it. So within 1 minute, we get the reading that which chamber is consuming how much of fuel. If a particular chamber is consuming more fuel, then the weight of this particular chamber will reduce. So the weight, if the weight is reducing, that means this particular chamber is taking more diesel, and piston required repairing, or the piston required we need to change the piston rings. So after modifying that particular big machine, we have converted this machine into wireless machine. Previously it was wired machine, and currently the weight of this particular device is 1.5 kg. Now you can just see, by using the technology, we have reduced the weight of 35 kg device to 1.5 kg, and it can be easily operated, it can be easily moved from one place to another place, and immediately it gives the reading, and we can store the reading in our mobile also, and we can send the reading by using SMS or by using WhatsApp. Now, what kind of technology we have used over here that I forgot to say? We have used the Android applications, we have used the Python, and we have used the microcontroller programming over here. Moreover, the cost of the machine is also reduced due to low cost of microcontroller. This is one device which is developed by Dr. Nitin Saluja, and this particular device is used to remove the weeds from agricultural land. Actually, currently people are using pesticides to remove the weeds, and it is very difficult to detect the weed and remove the weed. Here we are using the camera which detects the weeds, and by using the microwave, it removes the weed, it kills the weed. So this is one of the innovative projects developed by Dr. Nitin Saluja. Another innovation is the smart care surveillance. See, whenever we see in news the mob attack on the cop, mob is attacking on the policeman, and policemen after the incidents, policemen start searching the CCTV camera of nearby places. Here we are giving a low cost camera and charging device, and we can connect this particular camera with the base station, and it can be attached in helmet, and it can be attached in cap, and it is not visible to anyone. So policeman, wherever he will go, he can capture the images, capture the continuous images, and send it to the base station. And from the base station, the persons, the psychologists, the persons, the experts, those who are sitting over there, they can detect the mob, and they can also convey the message to that particular policeman what to do the next. Similarly, during the VIP movements, policeman is there. He is watching everything, but he is not watching each and everything, because whenever he focuses on a particular thing, he may not be focused on something else. But the person who is sitting on in base station, he can see what is happening in the surrounding. So immediately he can convey the policeman that you do this thing, or do just try to frisk this person, or the suspect person is there, he is in white dress or he is in black dress. At least a message can convey to the policeman, so that policeman can take the action. Moreover, entire video will get stored in cloud, and that can be analyzed for future reference. Moreover, if we fit the same camera and same technology in CAP, it can be used in examination centers, where the examiner or the invigilator can see the students, and entire video will transmit to the base station, and we can store the video also for future analysis. Here we are using a low cost video transmission system, and we are using the Python language, we are using cloud computing, and we are using software defined network SDN for the security point of view. This is a system, actually Dr. Nitin Saluja is working on this particular system, the human simulator. Here, it can be easily detect the amyloid deposition, so that we can predict the cancer. This system is again developed by Nitin Saluja, where it can be attached in this TV, and we get the pinpoint prediction of rain. These are different navigation devices for blinds. It is already innovative. Now we are trying to develop a special wheelchair, and we want to attach some machines over there for transmitting the vital signs, and we are working on these sensors, tattoo sensors, through which we can transmit the vital signs of elderly and disabled persons to nearby places, and the persons, the relatives of elderly persons or disabled persons can see the vital sign of their the patient, and doctor can also see the vital signs. So these are the tattoo like of sensors, and this can be attached in body, and it will not get damaged whenever the patient will take the bath, or even if you squeeze it, it will not get damaged. So the patient will feel comfortable. There is no wire, nothing. Just put this tattoo and automatically it will take the power from the body only, and it will transmit the data to cloud. One more thing, this particular device, video laryngoscope, this device we have developed in our lab only. If you see the cost of this particular video laryngoscope in Amazon, currently it is around 80,000 plus, and it is either made in China or made in Taiwan, or I think yeah, these two countries, Taiwan and China, made in Japan. These this particular country, they are selling this particular device with around 80,000 plus. But we have developed this device in our lab by investing just 10 to 12,000 rupees. And if the same device we develop in large quantity, then the rate will reduce to probably 6 to 7,000 rupees. So what is happening in this particular device? See, when the patient goes to operation theater, the anesthesia expert gives the anesthesia and put a particular pipe in lungs, that is called the intubation. So this device can be inserted in mouth, and then a particular pipe, a hard pipe is there, which can be put in his lungs. So sometimes it takes time, and doctor feel the difficulty if he is unable to detect the whole of lungs. So this particular device is giving the entire picture of throat, and doctor can easily do the intubation. Sometimes this intubation process get delayed. In such case, the patient may die, or the patient may face the brain hemorrhage. So during the operation, many cases, many patients died due to brain hemorrhage and due to delay of intubation. So the entire picture, entire video we can store in cloud, and even we can transmit this video in TV, which can be kept outside the hospital, so that the patient's relatives can see the entire intubation process. And this can be one of the evidence of the operation. This is the automatic sanitizing machines we have developed during the COVID-19 time. And here you don't have to touch the system. You just, the sensor is there. Whenever you put your hand near by sensor, it will automatically spray. Similarly, we have developed one Sanirist. Here, a watch kind of thing which you can wear, and you can store around 130 ml of sanitizer, and you can put the alarm, or you can sanitize your hand at any time. So it is very easy, very fancy, and very easy to operate. Moreover, you can put the alarm in every 1 hour or every 40 minutes, it will sanitize your hand automatically. So these are different innovations. Apart from that, we have done so many innovations. I have not displayed each and everything over here. But now, how we convert our innovation into the project? See, whenever we talk about the project proposal, it is broadly classified into two types: short term and long term. Short term proposals are just like you are applying for a particular conference, you are applying for a particular workshop or particular event. That is a short term proposals. But whenever you are applying for a huge grant, that is a long term proposal, and it is around uh, generally it is 3 years terms. Sometimes, in some cases, it may be 5 years. So here, generally, what the peoples are doing, uh, when they will see the proposal call, they will start thinking the idea, thinking the problems. But this is not the right way. If you are a teacher, if you are a researcher, you should have a problem bank. You should create a problem bank. You should identify the problem. You should try to find out the multiple solutions. You will do the divergent thinking. You have to do the convergent thinking and prepare at least 2 or 3 page document and store it. If you are unable to get the project at that time, at least you have detected the problem and you have documented it and stored it. That is the problem bank. Whenever the time comes, whenever you will get the call of the proposal, at that time you don't have to think for the problem, rather you can extract the problem from your problem bank and polish it according to that particular proposal call and apply it immediately. But most of the people I have seen, they are trying to find out or detect the problem after the proposal call. So after the proposal call, you will get 20 days or maximum 1 month time. And within that short span of time, you have to think a problem, you have to generate the idea, you have to do the divergent and convergent thinking, and then you will find the proper solution. Sometimes it is not possible to complete such kind of proposals in time. Moreover, in hurry, you cannot perform the review of literatures and you cannot perform other thinking process or brainstorming process in a proper way. And this is the major cause of project rejection. Sometimes we are flooding the projects. We are sending 20, 30 projects in a single call. And 18 projects or 19 projects get rejected. This is again generating the negativity. So, my suggestion is always try to detect the problem in society, generate some idea and document it immediately. Suppose I am giving you a problem. Now tourism sector is facing problem and villages are also facing problem. How we merge the tourism into village? This is one of the problem, and we have identified this kind of problem so that we can solve. We can do something for the society. We can do something for the base of the pyramid, and this is a novel. If you generate the solution, it will be a novel solution. So you should document that particular problem identification and idea generation and store it in a particular place. Whenever you will get the proper call, at that time you can manipulate that particular same document and you can immediately apply. whenever you are generating, you are just detecting the problem, you have to identify the demography and the beneficiaries. Suppose I am developing a solution for a particular problem, and that solution cannot be effectively used by the beneficiaries, or I don't know who are the beneficiaries of that particular solution, or I don't know where I will implement that particular solution. In such case, we lose our project. So we have to identify the demography. We have to identify the area where we will implement this particular project and how many beneficiaries will be there, how many direct beneficiaries will be there, and how many indirect beneficiaries will be there. Suppose I am developing a machine for elderly and disabled persons. So I have to check how many elderly persons are there in India, how many disabled persons are there in India, what are their economic status, what kind of problems they are facing currently. If I develop a particular machine, where I can implement, when I will implement, how many beneficiaries will get the benefit, that I have to define clearly. That I have to think, that I have to define clearly. Otherwise, our project will not get selected anyway. Intellectual property protection. Whenever we are generating the idea, we are generating the solution, we need to protect it. And whenever you protect that particular innovation, you can showcase it in your project proposal. When you will showcase that particular project, that particular thing in your project proposal, it will create a weight to your project proposal. Because the project advisory committee will ask, if you are developing this particular device or this particular system, have you registered with intellectual property protection? In such case, if you say no, then it will give the negativity. It will generate the negativity. Why you have not protected it? Because I was not getting time to protect it, because I have started this innovation after the proposal call. Here you will get you will lose the marks. That's why I am telling you, just create one innovation folder or the problem folder and store, document all the problems you are thinking, so that you will get the time to protect it. And even sometimes we get the publication of that particular property, that particular intellectual property, that particular innovation. It will also create the weight that no, you have published the things. After doing all these things, then we should locate the funding agencies. But I have already told you, we are actually locating the funding agency first, then we are doing the innovation in next phase. But this is not the right way. First we do some innovations, first we do some intellectual property protection, first we do some publications, then we can think for the project funding proposals. After getting the funding call, you have to check and fit the idea. Check and fit the idea means if you have the problem bank, you can see the proposal, you can see the scheme, you can see what are their requirements. According to that, you can manipulate, you can polish your existing problems and existing solutions and fit in that particular proposal. After check and fit, you need to do some brainstorming. You need to create a team. Suppose I am applying a particular project and I am working alone. In such case, it may not be effective. But when you are developing a particular project or writing a particular project proposal, you have to create a team. The team of multidisciplinary area. And you have to do the brainstorming and on that particular proposal and polish that particular proposal with the help of team. See, whenever you are developing a particular proposal, that means you are using your own brain, you are using a single brain. But when you are doing the brainstorming, you are getting multiple questions, multiple type of ideas you can implement. So you need to construct a team. You need to collaborate and construct a team and do the brainstorming before submitting the proposal. Another one is you have to justify your work. Generally, they develop the proposal, but they are unable to justify their work and they are unable to give the evidence. Suppose the project advisory committee will ask, how many people get the benefit? You will say, so many people get the benefit. This is not the right answer. You have to give the number of beneficiaries in matrix. And you have to justify your metric with some evidence, some references, some news cuttings. Suppose I am developing a proposal for scheduled tribe people of Odisha, those who are facing problem of elephant attack on agricultural land. And I am going to develop a device, IoT-based device, which can protect their agricultural land from elephant attack. Suppose this is my problem. So how I will justify my solution? I have to give how many elephant attacks were done previously, how much of economic loss occurred from last 5 years, how many people died, how many people got injured. That data I should have. That I have to get from government sites, I have to get from the news. I can attach the news paper cuttings, but the proper evidence we have to give. मैं ये नहीं बोल सकता कि बहुत सारे अटैक होते हैं जी, बहुत नुकसान हो गया जी, बहुत लोग मर गए जी. वो that is not the proper evidence. We have to give the evidence. As per this particular news, these many people died. As per this data, this much of economic loss occurred. Or as per this particular data, these many people are injured. That we have to give the evidence properly with reference. Then we have to give the expected delivery. What you want to deliver. If you are developing a device, do you have any business plan? That we have to give. And after that, we decide the budget. But budget can be modified. Budget can be decreased. sometimes the budget cannot be increased. So whenever you prepare the budget, you always justify each and everything. Suppose you are asking for 3 GRF. I need 3 GRF, and I am asking for this much of amount salary. So they will ask you, why 3 GRF? What they will do? So immediately you should respond, no, first JRF will do this, second JRF will do this, third JRF will do this. You have to justify on the spot. If you keep silent over there, that means you are unable to give the justification and your project will get rejected. As I have already told you, brainstorming is one of the best way to polish your proposal. So you have to do the mock presentations. You should involve some experts. You should involve some persons, those who are already performing the projects, or those who are in a particular specialized area. And you should do the mock presentation 2 times, 3 times, or 10 times, and polish your proposal before the submission. Then you need to create, at the time of mock presentation, at the time of brainstorming, you need to create the question bank. And I am sure when you will create the question bank, the project advisory will ask such type of questions only. Then finally, you have to submit the project timely. Generally, people are trying to submit the project in last date in hurry, and they forgot the documents, they forget the proper evidences. But you should not wait for the last date. If the last date, you should complete your work at least before first week, before 1 week of last date, and you should take at least 7 to 8 days time, and you should apply it. So these are the major points I have explained before you. And if you have any kind of questions, you can ask. You can ask the questions, please. No question? Thank you very much, everyone. Even if you are applying for any project, if you want to do some innovations and you need my help, I am ready. I am available. You can call me or you can meet me. I'll try my best to help you as far as possible. Thank you very much.